Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Spencer Vane here, and in this video, once again, it's a clip from that 3-hour-long mastermind that I'm doing where I taught everything I know about money to these high school kids. I literally typed out a 22-page document, took about 8 hours to type out by hand, where I put literally everything I know about money that took me from having negative $700 in the bank at one point to growing my net worth by $4.8 million in a single month just a few years later. So if you'd like to get that exact doc that I taught this entire 3-hour mastermind off of, click the link down below. You can buy it right now for just $1. Okay, there's no crazy $1,000 fee or like that. It's just $1. You can get this exact same Google Doc that I taught this mastermind off of and that this video is entirely based off of. So with that being said, again, click the link down below. It's $1 and enjoy the video. Okay, so now we fast forward to the current date, May 2022. The value has appreciated. Okay, the value is now of this property is now worth $14 million. You guys following so far? Okay. The current loan amount, you've paid down $2 million on the loan. Okay, so originally it was $8 million loan. You've made the payments. It's now down to $6 million. Does that make sense? Okay. Your cash flow has gone up because you've raised the rents. So now the cash flow is $360K per year, not $300. Does that make sense? Okay. So your current equity in this building is $8 million. And your goal is like, you know what? I need some cash. I need to withdraw the equity, right? Because right now all that cash is locked up in this building. I need to withdraw that value. Does that make sense? You guys sure? Okay. So you have two options. Option number one, which most people do, is they sell the building. But what did I tell you? What do rich people do? No, that's not what I said. I said rich people focus on what they make. Wealthy people focus on what they own. So by selling something, what are you doing? You're losing something that you own. Rich people sell, wealthy people never sell. Okay? So if you did sell, let's see. Your current equity is $8 million. Okay, your profit is $6 million because you put in the original 2, right? So you 8 minus the $2 million you put in is $6 million profit, right? Does that make sense? Okay. On paper, it's $6 million. But that's the pros of selling. What are the downsides of selling? Right off the bat, you're paying $2 million in taxes. Right off the bat, you're paying $2 million in taxes. So now you're down to a $4 million net, okay? We also lose the $360,000 a year in cash flow, in profit. So you just lost 30 grand a year, or 30 grand a month in cash flow, right? And we lose the depreciation tax write-off, which is like the biggest way to get out of taxes legally. That's a lot of cons to selling, okay? Now, the other side, we want to get money out of the building. So how do we do that? Okay, so we can refinance. We can take another loan against what we already have. We can take a loan against the equity. Does that make sense? Okay, so what are the pros? We get the full $6 million. We don't have to pay any taxes because loans are not taxable. Now, let me ask you this. If we make $6 million, and we have to pay $2 million in taxes, what's the percentage tax rate you're paying? 33%, okay? Have you guys ever seen a loan with an interest rate of 33%? No. Interest rate like what, 2%? Okay, I'd rather pay 2% than 33%, okay? So, yeah, okay? We get to keep the income. We get to keep the $360,000 a year. Okay, and we get to keep the depreciation tax write-off, which is probably the biggest benefit of the property outside of the cash flow. And the only downside is we have to pay back the loan with interest. But what if we just take that $8 million and we buy another property? Now we're multiplying our money. Now, instead of losing the first one and buying another one, now we own 2. And they both cash flow. And so now I'm probably making $700,000 a year passively. The first loan is being paid down by the second building. And I'm good. And I pay no taxes. Okay? So, does this make sense? Yes. Yeah. All right. So the first half of what we covered was like the foundational stuff. It's not like tactical what you're going to do. The next half is going to be tactically like what you need to do to actually have success with this. But in order to do that, you have to have the first half. So that's why I did that. Okay. So first, we're going to breeze through these pretty quickly. These are the 10 tactical rules. Doesn't say tactical, but it should be there to master money. Okay. Tactical things you need to do to master money. So the first thing is don't count money until you have the money. So I kind of, earlier I mentioned like some companies are like, oh, we made $500,000 this month. It's like really they made $1,000 in cash and they have a contract saying they're going to get $500,000 20 years from now. That's $1,000, okay? And then on a consumer side, don't spend tomorrow's money. So in other words, if you're leveraging debt to buy assets, good way to use debt. If you're leveraging debt to buy stupid shit, bad way to use debt, okay? Until you've proven otherwise, it's a bad way to use debt, okay? So in other words, don't like put your groceries on a credit card and like never pay the credit card off, okay? Like that's stupid, okay? Rule number 2, the 40% rule. So this is the 40% rule, okay, at different income levels. You need to live off of less than 40% of your earned income, okay? So if your income is $2,000 a month, you got to pay 40% in taxes. That's $800. And you should be investing back into yourself 40%. You got the 40% government tax. You need to tax yourself at 40% to invest in yourself. Okay, that's the 40%. Excuse me. That's the 40% rule. Okay, and you live on whatever's left. So can you live on $400 a month? Probably not. Okay, $5K a month. Can you live on $1,000 a month? Probably not. $10K a month. Can you live on $2,000 a month? Probably not. Right? But you see how this 40% rule has to stay true. You have to continually invest, again, at least 40% of what you're making into your education, your business, all the things we talked about earlier. Okay, that's what successful people do. Does that make sense? Okay. And the only two ways to do this is either cut expenses or make more money. Okay, and the solution is usually better to make more money. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Spencer Vane here. And if you'd like to get that exact doc that I taught this entire 3-hour mastermind off of, click the link down below. You can buy it right now for just $1. Okay, there's no crazy $1,000 fee or like that. It's just $1. You can get this exact same Google Doc that I taught this mastermind off of and that this video is entirely based off of. So with that being said, again, click the link down below. It's $1 and